All right, it is time for another Chad's Chitter Chatters, or random van vlogs, or van vlog Veneer days, whatever I decide to call this. This is where I get a random topic, I read it for the first time, and then I think about it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then I give you my answer. And I don't go back and correct any factual mistakes or anything like that. So if I make a mistake, make a fool out of myself, you get to see it. This week's topic is, who would win in a fight? A robot, a shark, or a dinosaur? Okay, well, that's kind of... all right, I'll try to go with it. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, I am back. So, I did think about it briefly, and, you know, I think the issue here, for me at least, is the fact that I don't know how big is each one. You know, like a really big shark versus a small robot, you know, or a really big dinosaur versus a small shark. So I'll say this much. I would think that obviously on land, the shark doesn't have a chance, unless we're talking like maybe street sharks. And by the way, these things can go anywhere, and this one's about to go into some really, really weird places. So maybe street sharks would win, but I wouldn't count on it, because I don't think anybody really liked that show anyways. I think it was canceled after about 2 seasons, and I'll say this much, they are definitely no Ninja Turtles. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to replace, we're gonna compete with the Ninja Turtles. You can't compete with the Ninja Turtles, suckers. So at this point, sharks aren't looking too good. And then there's dinosaurs, and I was thinking like maybe dinosaurs, but I was thinking, you know, short term, pound for pound, robots have to win, because I think that they are probably going to be the strongest and most, I think they're gonna have the most power pound for pound, depending on who designs them. But I'm assuming we live in a world where we're talking about like the Transformers, and they have intelligence, and really, you know, flesh and bone dinosaur isn't really going to compete against Optimus Prime. I don't care who you are. So I think basically you're going to be looking at the robots winning. And I kept on thinking the whole time, didn't think much about it, but the whole time I kept on thinking, Johnny Five is alive! Johnny Five! I don't know if y'all remember Short Circuit or not, but about this AI robot that they build, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, but he goes around there saying Johnny Five is alive. He's got this robot. He's this robot that can think for himself. Nice little 80s movie. Anyways, so yes, pound for pound, I'm going with the robot, but I would think that if it wasn't, and I'm talking a little fast right now, I just thought about that, just trying to dump all my thoughts out here. But one scenario that came to mind for me was the robots, even if they say like it's a small robot, and assuming that it isn't going to rust underwater or something like that. So I'm making that assumption right now, that they could hijack the dinosaurs or the sharks, and they could have some sort of like, act like a parasite. And what they would do is they would kind of like integrate into the sharks or the dinosaurs, and they would let the dinosaurs and sharks carry them around, and they would siphon energy off the dinosaurs and sharks, and slowly over time maybe replace the shark or dinosaur. So when you say fight, it could be like a very, very like short-term thing, like fight to the death or destruction or dismantlement. Then there are a lot of loud, man, there's a lot of loud cars. But if that's the case, pound for pound, gonna have to go with robot. But maybe if the robot was small and couldn't like maybe compete with a really large dinosaur, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, then maybe that robot could have that intelligence and like find a way to like jump on, not jump, I don't know, how do you say it? Like a parasite. and work its way into getting its energy via I don't know. I'm not a mad scientist. I'm just a guy who's seen a couple of TV shows and movies, and this thought has come to my mind. But I'll say this much: if you're talking Dinobots, forget about it. They just win automatically. So if you got the Dinobots there, Grimlock, I mean, you can just kiss it. Everybody else just gets kiss it goodbye, because they are going to, you know, dominate, and there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about it. But for some reason, I kept on coming back to this idea of this parasitic robot that over time would grow and replace whatever said shark or dinosaur that they attach themselves to. Or maybe not. Maybe they just live the entire time as a little tiny robot. And that's one of the things I was also thinking about as well as I ramble on, is like, if you're talking long term, you're looking at the allocation of resources as well, because like something really, really big, it's hard to hide. Although I would say the world is pretty big, when not compared to other planets and stuff, but you could be relatively big and hide in certain areas of the world as long as you didn't, but you're kind of limited. But if you're small, you have much more hiding spaces, and you don't need as much energy in order to survive. For the most part, I think it depends on your on a lot of things. Like, you know, the little shrew. There's a little shrew, and a tiny little thing too. It's like really, really small. That thing, like, it burns like enough calories. Like, it burns its body weight in calories like every day or every other day or something like that. It's crazy the amount of the metabolism that thing has. So I can't just say, you know, smaller is better, but typically speaking, if you're smaller, you don't require as much resources, and you're going to be able to survive longer. So if you're on a waiting, like, long-term plan or long-term fight, there's a good chance that one-on-one being smaller could have its advantages. But yeah, so I guess that's going to be my answer. I'm going to go with robot overall, because I'm just assuming that if they're intelligent robots. I'm not saying that sharks are intelligent or that dinosaurs are intelligent per se, but I'm just assuming that they're like the Transformers. It's like Optimus Prime or Megatron fighting a shark, and I don't really think there's going to be much of a chance there. Or even if it's not those size ones, and definitely not street sharks, because they suck. They're no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anyways, my timer's going up. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed that, and hope you enjoyed my rambling. But please do like, comment, and subscribe. It does help out the channel far more than you can possibly imagine, and I hope you have the most amazing day.